Hey, so the next plate we're going to do for you is a blackened grouper, and what we're going to do is we're going to blacken it with some Middle Eastern spices, some harissa, which comes from it's either chili pepper paste, or I have the dry version of it here, and Aleppo pepper, which usually comes from Syria, which is about the same. Another red chili that's dried up and has some heat to it. So first thing I'm gonna do is I have this beautiful fillet of, it's what they call black grouper. As I brought it out, I can feel some bones in it. I don't know if you can, I've got my needle nose here. I wanna make sure I get all these bones out because these grouper bones are pretty, if you can see, that's pretty pretty sharp bone there. So take a minute to run my finger across. I feel them all right here, so I'm going to debone it real quick with just a simple pair of needle nose pliers. And these aren't the kind of bones that are just going to cook off. These to me feel like they're really sharp. So the reason I'm doing this is because you can get a lot of nice cuts at like Fresh Market, I mean even Costco, Kroger. I mean, you're able to get a lot of the same cuts that we get here in the restaurant. And I just ran this Middle Eastern grouper over the weekend, and it went like hotcakes because of the blackened seasoning, and then I did a slaw, carrot. It was a slaw consisting of heirloom carrots, red cabbage, and cucumbers. So we were just talking a minute ago about the lemon juice and olive oil that we use in a lot of our salads like fattoush and tabbouleh. So that's what I did with the slaw. Is it was a simple olive oil, fresh lemon juice, and that's what this is going to be sitting on after we get it pan seared for you. So I feel like I've got everything. There was maybe 6 or 7 really sharp ones in there, and I can feel one more right here. A little tiny one. So there's a tiny bit of belly fat on here, so I'm going to get that belly fat off. I'm going to do is put a nice little cut on it. There. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little score in the skin. These knives are so freaking dull. Okay.
And what's the score do?
No, the score you'll see I put the little slits in it. It's gonna, when I sear it in the olive oil, it's gonna sear the skin, cook through, all the way through, so it crisps up the skin. So a lot of people like to eat the skin, so the skin's gonna be edible on this, if you'd like. So that's what the scoring does. So we've got that done. We are going to get a little bit of our Aleppo pepper and our harissa, and then we're going to add a little bit of sumac to it.
What's sumac?
Sumac's another Middle Eastern plant. Adds a little bit of smokiness, and we use it in our fattoush. That the spice that you see, the red spice that you see in the fattoush, it's sumac. It's a Middle Eastern spice that they grind down for a lot of our main dishes. So. Add some sea salt in there, mix that up a little bit. All right, so we're gonna put the pan on, get the pan nice and hot. We're gonna cook this in some olive oil, sear it up. While the pan's getting hot, I'm gonna go ahead and get a nice coat of our mix on there. And this is it's gonna have a heat to it, but not like an overbearing heat. It's gonna be like that crave you get when you eat one chip and you want to keep on taking another chip and another bite, another bite. So it's not like gonna blow your head off. It's just enough to keep you going. And then with that slaw underneath with the lemon juice and the olive oil, it's just gonna start to add all those flavors. All right, so gonna go down skin side down first. Pan's nice and hot. A little bit more sea salt. Like I said, we scored the skin side so we can get that nice and crispy. The skin's always edible, at least edible for me. So I know a lot of people do not like the skin, but there's a lot of people that will eat the skin. So if they're gonna eat it, it's nice and crispy. And you see that nice sear getting crispy there. So what I'm gonna probably do with these is they're pretty thick. So I have the convection still on, which is a nice convenience. Is we're probably gonna finish them off in the convection because these are nice thick cuts. So I just wanna get a nice sear on both sides. All right, so we got the oil nice and hot. I'm gonna, to even crisp up the skin a little bit more, I'm just gonna give it a little oil bath. It's giving the back of the fish a lot more color now with this little, so nice that looks, beautiful. And this is the color you want right here. This is a beautiful, beautiful color. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna take it off the heat. These are some pretty thick cuts. It's got the great color. It's got the browning on it. I'm gonna stick it in the convection oven here for maybe 2-3 minutes to finish it off. And in the meantime, I'm gonna get a set ready for the grouper. So like I was talking earlier, I already prepared this. So you just, all it is some julienne cucumbers, julienne red cabbage, regular cabbage, heirloom carrots, which are the colored carrots that we use downstairs that we roast off a lot. And this is going to be our set. So that's the good look at the set. And then what I did was salt, pepper, olive oil, and fresh lemon juice. So you got all this beautiful color in the set. What I'm gonna do is hit the plate, the rim with a little bit of sumac because that's just what we do. A little bit of salt. A little bit of oil. And then we're just waiting for the fish to finish off. Oh, that's beautiful. And voila, that's what you have. Yeah, so we got that beautiful brown on it, and like I said, nice and crispy on the skin. You want to eat it, it's delicious. You don't, that's your prerogative. So, but nice meaty fish. We got it cooked all the way through. And the spice on this is going to be just outstanding. It's like I said, it's not too overbearing. I'll get in the fridge real quick. No sauce on this baby, just a little bit of fresh lemon is all you're gonna need on this one. So that's your finished dish. And what did that take? With deboning and everything, 10, 12 minutes? I don't know. Yeah, it's not a bad dinner for you guys at home trying to impress your women. It's perfect. Should be impressed, I would hope.